gone through the process and you're ready to start running those ads. Now, the most important part of all of this is that we can attract as many leads as we want. But if we don't know how to close these leads and we don't know how to start these conversations, then we're never going to make money, right? So let's talk about follow-up. Without further ado, here we go. Let's talk about we need to absolutely develop a system where we're following up with every lead that comes in a timely manner, because speed is key. Conversations create closing. Remember that. Never forget that generating the lead is only half of the story. In order to create these closings, we've got to create conversations. This means following up timely and systematically. So this is from Chris Smith's book on the conversion code. So did you know you have 100 times greater chance of actually speaking with a lead if you contact them within 5 minutes than you do if you wait 30? Absolutely unbelievable. 100 times greater. That's crazy. So another thing that's crazy about this is the statistics on people who actually, what people are doing with the internet leads. The average, they surveyed a bunch of companies, and what they found is the average response time for people to get back to a lead that had contacted their business that they had spent money to market to is 3 hours and 48 minutes. And what's more shocking on top of that is that 47% of these people never even responded at all. Yeah, why on earth would you spend all this money setting up these ads and doing all these things that you do online and just spending this money, and then people respond to you and you never get in touch with them? This is insane. So the longer they sit, the less our chances are of actually contacting them. So what does that tell us? Man, we've got to get on it right now. We got to contact them. More statistics from Chris Smith's book. The average attempts to make contact is 6. So if you try 6 times, you're going to get 93% of people that respond, that had responded to your ad. You're going to actually get some sort of response to them from them. To do this, you have to develop a system. So if you don't have a system to respond to people or to follow up with them at least 6 times, you need to get one. Okay, so there's lots of different ways that you can do this. There's lots of CRMs out there. Maybe your company has a contact management software that you can use. Maybe as simple as putting them in a Google Calendar. When I first started doing this, I had note cards. I learned this many, many years ago from Dan Kennedy to have a filing system that was 1 through 31. And what you'd do is you'd get a new lead. And these were coming in off of 800 numbers. So they'd leave their name on there, and we'd do mailings to these guys. It'd be postcards, special reports, those kinds of things. But you'd put their name, and then you'd write the date that they came in, and then you'd stick it out a week. And then every day you'd get in there and you'd get in. Oh, today's the 13th. You'd go into number 13, and you'd grab all the leads that you had to follow up with. So it was a simple way to do things. Sometimes we try to make things by making them easier. Sometimes we make them a little bit harder. But that was a really easy way to do it. Whatever it is, whether it's note cards in a file, your CRM, you've got to get some. Once that lead comes in, you should be putting them into several things. So a drip campaign. If you're able to send an email out even once a week, once these people respond and you've got their email address, first thing you should be doing, and I'm going to talk about this and show you how to do this, sending them a text immediately. Second thing you'd be doing is sending them an email immediately. And we're going to show you how to set up an email responder that the second they respond, they're going to immediately get an email that goes to their email, but they're also going to get a text from you within the first 5 minutes. These drip campaigns that you can set up with these autoresponder emails, there's all kinds of them. You can use MailChimp, GetResponse, Constant Contact. They're really cheap, and they're really simple to set up these sequences. To do it, and you can do it yourself, or you can have somebody do it for you. The one that I use right now is called LeadsBridge. LeadsBridge is a third party, and basically what this does is it grabs my leads as they come out of Facebook lead ads, as they fill out their form. Immediately, LeadsBridge will grab these leads and will give me a notification that I've just had a lead received, because speed is king. So here's my LeadsBridge profile from the 13th. So what happens is every time somebody on Facebook, I set up what's called a bridge. So every time somebody would fill out a form on Facebook, I immediately get sent their information in an email form to me that says, hey, new lead. I also get another bridge that sends them into an autoresponder email drip campaign that I have set up 17, 18 different emails that goes out to them over the next month. And they get those systematically without me thinking of it. So this is the Leads Bridge dashboard in the navigation pane here, and I can show you how to go through this if you'd like me to at a later day. But you can see right here on this right hand side, these are my monthly leads collected. Quick Movements, look at the Quick Movements and Quick Movement Ivory ads. I mean, those guys kill it, right? That's where I've gotten what is that, 2/3 of all of my leads throughout all. You can see all the different ones that I've tried throughout the years, and you can see the leads, there's an ebb and a flow to them. Back in October, we were doing a lot of my distress sale ads. And what we found with distress sales, we got lots of leads by number, but the quality of them was really, really poor. See right there, we're in June. We're on the 13th of June, so it looks like it's down a little bit that month, but we're only halfway through it. So I anticipate that we're going to be right up along that, anywhere about 75 to 80 leads per month on average per day. So kicking butt. And the nice thing about LeadsBridge is you don't have to go through and download anything from Excel. Again, as a small business owner, you've got to have a system like this where you can track your numbers. The other place that you can track your ads results is in the Ads Manager inside of Facebook. And this one right here. So interesting story on this one. So as I was going through writing this program as a PDF, I created an ad set called New Construction. And if you go to the PDFs and you download that, you can see this program, how I went through that. As I got my ad approved, I forgot to turn it off. I had it on for about an hour, and we got one lead form. You can see that red arrow. We already got a lead. And as we go through this, I'm going to show you what happened with this lead. But I sent this lead over to my wife, but I didn't have it set up in the bridge, right? I didn't have it set up with my leads bridge, so it would grab it and immediately give me a notification that I had a new lead. So if you don't do that, what you have to do is you have to go through and manually download them from Facebook. And this is what they look like. You go in there and you have to get it out of an Excel. But this was our lead that came in. Her name's Lindsay, and I crossed out all of her information, so don't go, bugging or anything like that. But to access leads without an outside service, you've got to download this as an Excel. But again, you don't get any kind of a notification that you have a new lead. So I guess you could set a timer on your phone and check it 4 or 5 times a day. But I know for me and my wife, it's a lot easier to just have an email come through on my smartphone that says, hey, new lead, here's their phone number, contact them. So I strongly suggest that you look into LeadsBridge is my favorite. Really simple way to do it. You log on to the platform here, create a bridge, and what you'll see is when you enter in your Facebook information, it's going to go ahead and auto-populate with your ad account that you have inside of Facebook. It'll populate it in there, and you'll get an opportunity to choose. So this is the one we were using the most is through Best Weber and Davis County Homes, a 500 credit score. We kind of went away from that one because the lead, the lead quality, as you might imagine, wasn't great. So to create a bridge inside of LeadsBridge, here's what you do. So there's my misspelled Northern Utah QMIs page. So you go in here and you start and you go through that. It'll set it up for you. It'll auto-populate everything in there, and then you get an email notification that looks just like this. And again, hey, privacy stuff, this isn't healthcare. I get a little bit nervous about it all the time. Don't call this girl and bug her. But this is what it looked like, right? When they sign on, this is what you get. So immediately, really easy to click on that and send this person a message. Again, I don't recommend, you can call, but here's the thing, you get people on the phone. I don't like to answer phone numbers that I don't know. Do you? No, if we get a phone number on there that we don't know, we tend to hang up on it and, maybe they leave us a voicemail. But texts, we respond to over 90% of text messages, unless you're really a butthead. And you know what I'm talking about like that. Like, who doesn't return a text? Like, if you want to make somebody mad, especially if you know them, everybody returns texts, and texts are non-threatening. You can basically, if somebody texts you, you can tell them to, take a hike. through text, and you don't feel bad about that, right? But texting is how we begin conversations now. It's how most of us have the most meaningful conversations anymore, is through text. So you're going to shoot this person a text. You're going to get this notification. If you set this up through LeadsBridge, you're going to get a notification. And as soon as possible, when you get this email notification, you send a text to this message that says, "Hi, Jamie, this is Chris from Best Weber Davis Homes, and I just received your request for information. Is now a good time to talk?" This is that simple. It doesn't need to be anything crazy out. I mean, it's just, hey, is now a good time to talk? This starts the conversation, and you continue asking questions about their situation. Again, what's in it for them, right? You don't tell them about, hey, I'm the best sales agent that there is and in the county and blah, blah, blah. Don't do anything like that. You ask them about them. What's their budget? Where are they looking? What's going on in their lives? Why are they decided to move? So I understand you're interested, and the next question should be, yeah, I understand you're interested in new construction homes. Can I ask you what area you'd like to be in, what budget, how many beds, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So our goal here, along with our ads, is to develop a list of homes that fits their criteria, that you send them and get them to come to your model to see you, where you can wow them with your product. Now listen, here's, like we talked about before, try not to send them to your main corporate site, because you don't have any control over where that lead goes. Okay, it might go to your rival, the person that you can't stand, and you're spending the money on this. You want to get these people registered or protected, or however your company does it, as soon as possible, and get them out to see you, because this is your ad and this is your brand at this point. So remember the ad that we got that we were just working through, that I forgot to download, and the page was spelled wrong, and literally just walk through on the PDF. And if you download this PDF, you'll see exactly how we did this, that this is our lead that came in. So, and this was a couple hours late. So my wife reached out, I sent her this lead. So she reached out and she said, "Hey, this is Jenny from Northern Wasatch New Construction. Just saw you requested some information about quick move-ins. Love to help out. Is now a good time to talk?" And she gets a emoji, or a what are those called? A GIF of a confused squirrel. So at this point, my wife could have, put in a WTH or LOL or something, but no, she doesn't. She remains professional and just text. She says text ? And the lady says, "Please." The next thing you know, okay, awesome. Tell me what you're looking for. Area, size. North Ogden, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, please. Nice, love North Ogden. You've thought about a budget, and they're off and running. So this is how you begin conversations. So now my wife puts this person's name into the database, so they go wandering in the way her company does it. She goes wandering into any home. She's already protected. She's already one of my wife's clients. So we have to follow up. Okay, I strongly suggest that you look into a third-party program like the LeadsBridge. This is where the money is made. The average response time for all internet leads is 3 hours and 8 minutes. That's way too long. 47% never respond at all. This is not going to be you, right? You have 100 times greater chance to speak to the prospect if you contact them within 5 minutes. Third-party software like LeadsBridge is amazing. Texting's better than calling. Start the conversation and close the deal. One last thing on here. This is not cold calling. Okay, I know some people don't, you think about cold calling and it's like death. You don't want, I would never do that. This isn't cold calling. These are people who have requested information from you personally, and you're just following up with them about their request for information. That's not hard. There's no rejection in that. They either want the information or they don't want the information. Trust me, they reached out to you. They gave their contact information. They want your information. So any hangups or holdups that you might have about cold calling, man, get over it. It's not cold calling, okay? And it's simple. I mean, was that hard? No. Now, a lot of times at this point, I'll get people that'll say, "Oh my gosh, this is a whole lot. I don't know that I can do this myself." So I want to just go ahead and throw this out here. I do offer a premium service. With this, what I do is I do all the ads for you. I run them in the area that you want me to run them. I put your name, your email address into the LeadsBridge, and I send them directly to you. So basically, I run it all for you. Unlimited email support, and we schedule calls. We're area exclusive with this, which means there's one new construction agent per metro area. So if you're interested in our premium service, if you feel like this is just too much for you to handle, shoot me over an email or text me 801-391-7824 for more information, or shoot me an email with this service, and we'll talk about it. So that's it in a nutshell. I mean, it's not that complicated. The biggest thing is making sure that you're following through in a systematic fashion. And once you get those leads, not only texting them and following them up, but making sure that that email is not going to waste. Again, if this is too much for you, I can do all of this for you with our premium service. But I strongly suggest that you get on a service like a MailChimp, a GetResponse, Constant Contact, something like that, and you're entering these people into a flow. The nice thing about the Leads Bridge is that we can both get an email notification every time we get a new lead that signs up, and we can also throw them into an autoresponder drip sequence. And it's really simple to do that. Again, if it's too much for you, let me know. I'd love to set it up for you. Hope that you've gotten a ton of good value from this. I think it's well worth the investment that you had in it. If you can just sell one additional home using what I've showed you in the last 4 sessions, I think it's well worth your investment. It's well worth your time. Now, if you want to crank that guy up to the next level, there's some options that we have as far as that too. I mean, I can get you tons and tons more leads. Let me know. Man, I've really enjoyed our time together. I don't want to try to sell you on anything different, because if you just master this one thing, I mean, you can really kill with it. The big thing that I notice with people when they fall into trouble is not following up and not systematically following through with those leads. So if you have any issues with that, let me know. Thank you so much for your time. Hey, if you have any comments, you have any concerns, text, email me. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'll be in touch with you soon.